So I've written down a couple of things to remember and helpful things to do during the round. So this is kind of a guide for refutations. When dealing with refuting an argument or different parts of your speech, you're going to want to remember these things. So here we have topicality, harms, inherency, and solvency. Topicality just has to do with the topic being discussed and whether it has a set range or whether it's infinite, etc. Harms and benefits are where the majority of your debate is going to be. What's good about this plan, what's bad about this plan, etc. Inherency is key for AF, especially in the last speech. Like I said, you have to make sure that the judge knows that the resolution being debated is inherently important. It needs to be debated now. Why? Like the space exploration one. China is catching up on us. We have discontinued the space shuttle. That's why we're having this debate right now. Or the government has just cut the federal budget for the space program. That's why we're talking about it right now. Now, over here, you have what's called CERT, and it's claim, evidence, reasoning, tie back to the resolution. This is kind of the guide you're going to want to follow for every refutation you make, and I've done a sample one down here. So the claim is basically just making sure you mention what they said. That way the judge knows to put a mark down there that you have not let that argument be extended. So basically, my opponents have claimed that space exploration / satellite funding is too expensive to maintain. That would have been one of the AF points. You've mentioned it, you get a point for your claim. Now here, you're going to have your evidence, which you're going to include reasoning in, and you're going to back up with reasoning. So this is simply not true. In fact, the amount of money allotted to defense is being drained to the tune of $15 million a year. 80% of it goes to maintaining foreign wars of oppression. The amount of money saved by pulling our troops home from the conflict for more than pay for this program. So that's your evidence. Now, evidence is less important than Parli than it is in POFO and it is in policy, but if you can bring up like hard evidence, not necessarily as specific as like statistics, but evidence is always good. So then your reasoning, which some of the reasoning I've included in there, is the American people have demonstrated time and time again that national security is a paramount issue, and while wars abroad do not directly protect the American people, satellite network does this 24/7, and that's why it's important to allocate funds to it. So basically, what you're saying here is you're reasoning out and saying that when we go to war somewhere else and spend that money, it's not directly helping our safety, whereas like improving our borders and improving our defense network is. So then you make sure that you tie it back to the resolution. This is why the United States government needs to allocate more funds to the failing and degrading current satellite system. Now, I've included a bit of inherency, where I say it needs to happen now because the system is failing and degrading. It's not protecting us anymore, therefore we need to fix it. And that's why you have inherency here. So as you can see, I hit C, E, R, and T, and I hit a bit of inherency. Now, the more of these that you can hit in your rebuttals too, the better. So if you can say that this also doesn't apply to the topic or has a harm or a benefit involved in it, that's also good. So I hope that this has been kind of helpful for those new people, and I can go over speech and how you should sound in round 2 in the next video. But hopefully that's been helpful, at least the other sheet, in telling you how a round actually goes.